Dun dun dun. Hey, my ego buddies, friends. I know. I always start off with that. You wonder, why do you go dun dun dun? I don't know. It just seems kind of cool to start off a video with some kind of, I don't know, ruckus noise. Hey, welcome again to another math video. This video has been made especially for you. Hey, we're just going to go ahead and get started here because Mr. War is just being a little too silly here. Please, Mr. War, teach us some math. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to try. We'll see if this little thing here doesn't do stuff like that. Hey, smart software, what are you doing to my slideshow? Okay, come on down. Okay, time to slow down. Get calm, Mr. Wara, and let's do a video. As you can see, we have our objective here. You remember our objective? You know, our objective is our purpose. Please don't confuse this with porpoise. Porpoise is a bottlenose type dolphin. We're not talking about porpoise here, my friends. No, we're talking about purpose. We're going to divide 2 and 3 digit dividends. Remember the dividends was those whole number part. Like we kind of think of like 365. But we're going to divide it by multiples of 10 with a single digit quotients, okay, and make connections to a written method. I don't know. That sounds good to me. We'll get into more of it when we do the lesson. First, let's do a little bit of fluency practice to kind of remind ourselves what we did. Oh, I believe the other day. And the other day, I believe, is the day before last, but we'll see how your memory serves you. Okay, for example, we looked at problems like 908 divided by 28. Ooh, I noticed something. They both end in 8s. Not that that really means anything here. However, 28 is very close to 30. And if you recall, we started to round that divisor to a number that makes this easier to divide. And again, we're just doing this as kind of an estimate. Well, if you notice, which you guys are really good at noticing things, if you notice, this 9 and 3 are very, very compatible because 3 times 3 is 9. So wouldn't it be nice if we could just change that 908 to 900? I think it would be, well, it would be pretty cool. And so we've done that. Now, looking at a problem, there's a couple different ways you could solve this. You know, you got to do the way that's going to make sense to you a little bit. You saw me crossing out powers of 10. Well, you can look at this number because they want you, they, assuming the people who wrote this manual, they want you to see that 30 is, well, 3 times 10. And it's a power of 10. So if we were to divide out a 10 first and then divide out the 3, you see, it would make life much more pleasant. It will. Because if you divide a 10 here, that's like taking off one of these zeros here, bringing it down to 90. Boy, did that number just shrink. And now we have just divided by 3. Now 90 divided by 3, 30, 60, 90. We're making groups of 3. Okay, seems easy enough. So here we have 30, and that's 90. Looks good? Well, you know, you can look back here and say it's 30, okay, times 30, 900. It is. Okay, so this worked out. Whew, lucky for that. You know, I always say, you know, almost a caveman could do it. But you know what? I think a scarecrow could do it. Yeah. Do you like that? I couldn't wait to slide that over. A scarecrow could do it. Okay. I'm sorry. Mr. Wara, can you get back to the lesson? Oh, absolutely. Let's move on. But let's not forget to have some fun in the meantime. Now, it says here, at the Highland Falls Pumpkin Growing Contest, the prize-winning pumpkin contains 360 seeds. Okay. I'm assuming it's a growing contest, so this proud farmer plans to sell his seeds in packs of 12. Oh, from the pumpkin that he grew. And remember, how many seeds were there? That's right, 360. Thank you very much, smart software. Finally, you're working with me on this. It's taken, I'll have you trained. You'll see. Anyway, coming down here, I'm going to go ahead and look at, so 360 seeds. Really? They pulled each seed out and counted each one of them? How was the farmer? He was proud. He was a proud farmer. So he's going to sell these seeds because people are going to want to buy them because we know that DNA, right? That genetic information in the seeds is going to probably, yeah, it's going to produce pumpkins that are big. Now it says, how many packs can he make using all the seeds? So I'm looking at this carefully. I see that 360 seeds here. He wants to make packs of 12. Well, when we're solving these word problems, you're going to get stuck sometimes. You're going to look at it and go, I'm not sure if I really understand the problem. I'm thinking to myself, I need to visualize this. How can I get a picture going? If they're packs of 12s, why can't I just do some? Oh, that's nice. It's giving me the time. I could say this is a pack of 12. This is a pack of 12. And the more that I can start doing this, other things are going to start shining light. Look at 300. Oh, okay. So if I made packs of 12, that means I'm going to take 12 and put it in a pack here. See? Oh, another pack of 12 here. Now, it just keeps going. So what am I actually doing? I'm making groups of 12. Groups of 12 lets me know, hello, you're dividing. Okay, I'm dividing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the dividing part then. If we're going to do 360 divided by 12, okay, so that's pretty important to see how this is written out into an expression. Let's go ahead now and actually, you know what I noticed? 36 and 12 are compatible. They are, because 12 times 3 is 36. So I like that. I'm really liking that. So what could I do? I'm going to show this number like this, because 360 is 36 times 10. So you get that power of 10 out, makes a big difference. Now this expression says the same thing. I'm just showing it differently. I'm decomposing it, right? You guys remember we decomposed, broke them apart. Now what I can do is I can do the little switcheroo, because it really doesn't matter what order I have these terms in. So I could say, well, now I can take 36, let me divide by 12, because that's what we're doing anyway. I'll multiply it by 10 after. So I'm just switching that around. Now this is really easy because that's 3, and then you can see that 3, the quotient of this division problem times 10 is 30. Now, that would mean you'd have 30 packs. We always check our work and make sure that's correct. So is 30 times the 12, is that going to bring us back to 360? I think so. So I'm going to go ahead, and I always like to write it this way. The 0, get that out of the way. 6, 360. And you know what I say? I say, voila. I guess it's French, like, I don't know. Way to go. It's good. So anyway, something to kind of keep in mind is that you can always go back and check your work. Okay? Moving on. Is that kind of sloppy? It does look sloppy. It does. How about, is that better? That's like one of those. Not two of them, just one of them. Just this guy. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, it's one of those. All right, moving on to the next page. Now, let me get another pen. So let's go ahead and move on to the concept development. This is what we're looking at. We're going to divide 2 and 3 digit dividends by multiples of 10. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and take this number. Let's take 70 divided by 30. Okay. So we know that the divisor is 30. Okay. And basically we're taking multiples of 30, and a multiple is a group. Like when we were doing our multiples, 30, 60, 90, 120. Remember when we were practicing that in our fluency? Well, that's basically what the divisor does. And so by looking at this, what I want to try to do is I want to basically see if I could estimate this number here. Since we already have the 30, I guess I could leave this here. But I could actually estimate 70 to 60, because then this would make it so much easier to solve like we were doing before. Now what's nice is these are both powers of 10. So this is really taking the simple facts. It's just 6 divided by 3, because you divide that each one by a power of 10. All you have is 6 divided by 3, which is 2. At least I hope it's 2. So this is basically what we're saying in our estimated quotient. Remember, a quotient, okay, is the answer to a division problem. So this is what our estimated quotient is. It's not the actual answer. Okay, so now what we can do is we can go back and we can like look at this and think, well, this is basically what we did. Let me do this so this will make sense to you. We did an estimate, and let's just put this guy in a bubble. Bubble. All right, I'll call him a cloud. Okay, so we're just saying basically that 60 divided by 30, okay, is really 6 divided by 3, which is 2. Okay, but now we're going to actually solve it. So I'll put this in a cloud. Bubble. And I just had to say that again. I don't have a good one. I think I'm just going to call it bubble. All right, so now let's actually solve. So let's do our 70 because this was our initial problem. Okay, and let's go ahead and divide that. Oh, why was I going to switch colors? I don't know why I did that, but I did do that. And we're going to divide it by 30 because that's what the problem here says. Now 30 will go into 70, 2 times. And of course, that's 60. And I'm going to subtract that, and I'm going to end up with 10. Okay. Everybody cool with that? All right. Even if you're not, there's really not anything you can do because this is just one-way communication right now. I'm sorry. So we're left with 10. So I'm looking at that thinking, well, that's not the answer we got. Of course, there was a 2, but there's like this 10 down here. And I wonder what that 10 means. Oh, well, it's the remainder, right? Remember that word? Did you do this last year? So it's the remainder or what's left over, okay? He's the leftover. He's like the food you put in the refrigerator and that you hope you're going to eat the next day, right? He's left over, okay? And so basically, I can't make another group of 30 here. That's a problem. So, did we make a mistake? Well, no, wait a second. Well, I see what happened here. So if we took 30 times 2, that would be equal to 60, plus the 10 brings us to the 70. So that remainder, we weren't able to make another group of 10. So now we did this whole part by checking our work. Seems pretty easy. Cool. Let's go on the next page. Oh no, what's this? Really? You know what they call this guy? They call this guy the ghost costume. You know what? Look at those bony fingers. That hardly looks like that somebody's got a costume on. I'm sorry. This guy's looking a little bit too bony. You know what? I think it's time to get serious about these people just appearing in the screen. I think I'm just going to have to, I don't know, call the police. Hey, take this guy out of here, right? Can you take him out? No, you really can't, can you? Can you go inside? No, nothing's really going to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to have to say, all right. Well, thank you, police officer, for showing up. But you know what? Basically, I think I'll take it from here, or so I think I will take it from here. We will just make this guy disappear the old-fashioned way. Goodbye. And I don't know. Do you want to stay? You seem like a reasonably nice guy. Let's go ahead and get rid of this here. A lot of cutting here. Cut. And we'll let you stay, but we're going to shrink you down to mini cup. Okay, just kidding. We'll make it a little bigger. All right, so going on to another problem. And of course, let me see here. Ooh, looking for this one right here. Yes. All right. Now, coming up here. Let's do one more problem. Let's do this mega problem. 572 divided by, should we say 90? Okay, so again, what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to create my little bubble again here. So we're going to do the estimate. And the estimate here, estimate. And let's break this up like this. We'll do this here in the solve. And then, of course, we're going to go back and check our work. Okay, so let me do my little bubble. Okay, there's one. There's another. You got it. Bubble. And then we're going to do one more. All right. Bubble. Okay. I was kind of getting worn out of my bubble. Ooh, my throat. I start talking weird now. Okay, can I move that over? Ooh, don't do that. Wow, that's kind of cool. Ooh. All right. Let's go ahead and put on another color. I haven't been using black. So let's go ahead and take this and say the estimate for this number here. Well, first thing is the 90 is already there. So that is just really cool. So basically, we're trying to find that compatible number with 9. Well, 9 times something won't give you 57, but 54. Wait, 54. Yes. Because 9 times 6 is 54. See? And then you see how we have 2 powers of 10 here? That eliminates that. My goodness, is that easy or what? I'm liking that. Well, let's come over here and let's use green. And we're going to go ahead and just solve it. Okay, so we'll put 572. We're dividing by 90. Now, 90 won't go into 57, but it will go into 572. Ooh, let me see, 6 times 540. That number looks familiar. Okay, now I'm going to subtract, and I get 2, and I think I get a 3. So now I have 32. So I wasn't able to make another group of 90. And what I can do now is I can check my work. Let's come down here and get some red. So I can check my work now because I know that 90 times 6 is 540. I can put 540 plus the 32, and I should get back to this number. And as you can see, that's 2, that's 7, and then I have my 5. 572. Man, I just love when things work out. It just makes things go so much better. Let's see here. Do I have one more problem to do? I think you know what? I think that covers it. Yeah. I do think that covers it. Okay, my friends. I know what this was. Was it a blank page? Oh, this is another. Yeah, we're not going to do another problem, right? Yeah, you want to be free. Okay. Video has now concluded, ladies and gentlemen. Please unbuckle your seatbelts and leave the theater quietly. No, I'm just kidding. I will see you later.